I used to think that anything would be better than sleeping on a mat on the church floor, but I've learned that that's not true. When you're homeless, you have to think about, where am I going next? Where is my next meal? Where am I going to sleep tonight? There is no holiday. There is no day off. Most of them who come are very grateful for the help they're getting here. They feel welcomed. We have two wonderful ladies that work the front desk. We call it the door people to begin with. And they're older ladies, but they welcome them. They know them by name for many of them. Once the guests come in, I kind of wander around, keep an eye on things, make sure nobody's getting upset, that anybody new knows where to go and what they can do, and try to make them feel welcome. Things are kind of noisy and a little bit chaotic because people are asking for things, and you know, like, Kathy, where is this? And can I get something else? And at 6 o'clock they start serving the meals. Around that time, Bill arrives. Bill's my assistant coordinator. We do a tour outside the church, looking to make sure nobody has hidden bottles around the church and things like that. Then the meals are served, things quiet down a little more. Over the next few hours, some of the guests will play games, some of them will lie right down and go to sleep, some of them will read a book or what have you. We have a special group that we partner with who is bringing in computers this year, so I make sure that the guests know the computers are available because they're in the chapel. Lights are turned off at 11 o'clock.
It's very important if people really need to have a place to go and stay overnight and stuff like that. Like for tonight, instance, it's very cold out there, and I don't want to see them freeze out there.
So I come pretty about every Friday. I come. Unless I'm sick or whatever, I can't make it. But I come to play cards, and I enjoy the meals, the people, volunteers.
No, it's necessary to stay open because there's everyday people losing their job and their income is not enough like for paying rent. They come here to eat because they have no food.
We talk about how expensive healthcare is in this country, and we complain about poor people using up the health resources. But if we gave them enough money that they could eat a balanced diet based on the Canadian Food Guide, we could save so many of those health dollars. And not only would we be saving money, but we would be making lives so much better.
Working poor starts to come into play, particularly when it's taking all of your resources just to pay the rent. When you are given a choice between losing your home and not eating that night, you have to spend it on the home because you have a long-term monthly commitment for that. If you don't eat, you'll still have a home tomorrow night. If you eat, you may not have a home tomorrow night.
The other problem that I have with people who are working poor, there tends to be this, something that we're calling deserving poor and non-deserving poor. He's got only half his teeth, his hair is dirty, his clothes are ragged. Would you buy a coffee from this man? Would you hire him to clean your house? And if you won't hire him, why do you expect anybody else to? So don't tell him to go and get a job. Give him some help so that maybe he can turn himself around, and then maybe he will want to get work and stuff. But don't just dismiss him as a lazy bum. In Kitchener-Waterloo, we have 3 permanent shelters that are open year-round. All of the shelters are running close to capacity. When you've got a church with 70 people sleeping in it, you need to be sure that there isn't too much disturbance going on, so that those people, you have to protect everybody, not just 1 or 2. When they come to the church, they know that yes, I may be sleeping on the floor with, you know, like 70 other people, but there is somebody that's watching. We have a designated out of the cold fund at this church. And we receive a lot of donations from the community that go directly to Out of the Cold. So financially, I think we're viable for the short term anyway, while we're still in the public's eye, so to speak. Space is a whole different concern. Both churches are aging buildings, aging congregations, shrinking congregations, and there's a concern of how long the churches can maintain the buildings. And when we lose the buildings, we will lose programming. I don't think people in the general society realize how much churches are struggling and how close so many of us are to closing. What we have found, unfortunately, is whether we're in good economic times or bad economic times, doesn't seem to make much difference. The usage of Out of the Cold continues to grow, and poverty continues to increase. It can be very hard on people, and it can be very trying, but for me, I still feel fed by what I'm doing. I still feel that God is calling me to this, and I feel that that I am doing some good. They need me, and I feel that that's important. They need people like me. They don't need me individually, but they need people like me. And I'm hoping that other people are called to the same kind of thing.